Hi, guys. So, we have come here today to talk about manifestation, right? And so, just to break down, I'm sure lots of you know about it, but let's just break it down and talk about what it means and how you do it, because that's the most important thing. So, a lot of you will have heard about the law of attraction, right? And that's the idea that everything's energy, right? Even this chair is vibrating. We all vibrate. Everything in the universe vibrates. And actually, the law of attraction is based on a universal law in quantum physics called the law of vibration. And there's many universal laws. So, but one of them is that everything is energy, everything's always moving, and everything has a vibration. Now, what that means to us is that we have to understand the nature of how things work. So everything's energy, everything's moving. That's the first principle to understand. The second thing is that we can move energy and create things, for want of a better word, that's not how I would say it, but just so we understand the concept, through our thoughts and emotions. So you might have heard that saying, thoughts become things. And that's very, very true, because a thought in itself has a vibrational quality. And the things that we want to create or manifest, so manifest is when we attain things in our lives. That's what manifestation is, when we actually achieve something or get something that we want. And that could be in lots of ways, occurs when we're what they call a vibrational match for that thing. And a vibrational match means that we're energetically resonant with it. So that sounds more complicated than it needs to be. But so what does it mean? How do we control that? So we do it through our thoughts and our emotions fundamentally. How we vibrate is fundamentally controlled by our emotions, right? So it's the quality of your emotion in your life that is the cause and effect of everything that you're receiving. And if we are higher up consistently on the emotional scale, right, we're now a match for the things that we want. So our desires are in our hearts. It's not like you have to figure out what's the vibration of that car and I need to be that vibration. It's much more about the higher up the emotional scale we are. And there's a really good, David Hawkins, you can find it on the internet, does an emotional scale. It's got all the emotions, and he's actually scientifically measured what they vibrate at, right? So the higher up the emotional scale we are and that we maintain, the more we are a match for the things that we desire, right? Because it's about feeling good, I guess, consistently and predominantly about the things we want, so that we expect them. And that good feeling and that feeling of well-being around the things we want attracts them to us, for want of a better word. It's actually, manifestation is actually much more of a realization of stuff that's already here than an attraction. But let's say attract, because it's easier for people to understand. So when I'm feeling good about the things I want, basically, I get them. And that's how I manifest them. Now, most people think they're feeling good about stuff, but they're actually not predominantly. So if you're predominantly not feeling good about money, right, you're not an energetic match for money. If you're predominantly feeling lack of a partner, a romantic partner, you're not a vibrational match for that partner. And that's as simple as it is. So how do you change it? What you do is you focus on well-being as a priority. So the most important thing in your life is that you feel good. You have to feel good. Your desires are meant for you, and the better you feel, the more receptive you are to receive them, the more of a sort of signal, energetic signal you are to the universe, that and it will bring those things to you. But the more you feel bad, and the more you feel bad about those particular things or those subjects, then the more you're kind of not a match. So it's our job to feel good and prioritize our well-being over everything else. The energy you hold around anything is far more important than anything else, and people miss this. People think it's the thinking or the strategies, but no, you've got to get in the right energetic, right? So it's about every single day prioritizing well-being. It's about every single day being very, very self-aware and making sure you shift your focus and disengage negative energy, because everything gains momentum. So if we go down a negative cycle, right, we tend to attract more negative things. And if we're on a positive cycle, we tend to attract more positive things. So it's like the worse it gets, the worse it gets, and the better it gets, the better it gets. So when we want a negative spin, our job is to disengage our energy. Now, people say, oh, I can't do that. I can't help how I feel. I can't help what I think. That's not true. You absolutely are in control of your thoughts at all times. And it's your thoughts that lead to emotions. It's not the other way around. People have a misconception that they can't help the way they feel and emotions just come on them, and then they start making decisions from emotions. That's not a good idea. Your emotions came from a thought, right? So when you understand that, then you feel more in control. And so then you start being very mindful about what you're thinking. Now, people get very spooked about this idea of manifestation or of attraction, because they think, oh, if I think a negative thought, then I'm attracting it. It's not like that. It's much more like what you're predominantly holding in your emotions and your energetic field around those things, or just generally how you're feeling. If you're feeling really, really good, by the way, you're an energetic match for good things happening to you. So the best thing to do is to like line your day up, like start your morning positive, start looking at positive aspects of things around you. Disengage your energy from negative spirals. So when you start going into a loop, break the pattern. Think about something that makes you feel good. Go back to something that makes you feel good. And even if it's something silly, because people feel like, oh, well, I should be pushing through this or working through this. But the more you stay on a topic or subject that's stirring up negativity in you, the less you are a match for the things you want in your life, right? It's a really serious thing. So your job is to feel good at all times. Your job is to not beat yourself up. Your job is to tell yourself you're doing well. Your job is to keep yourself in alignment, which is alignment means alignment with source energy, and also with positive energy, so that you're aligned to the things you want. So it's not that you can't attract stuff if you have a wobble or you feel negative, but manifestation is about cultivating an emotional feel-good state around the things you want. And that's in line with the ideas of faith and trust and all that kind of stuff, because a lot of time we're going, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, but we're actually in lack. So it's a negative emotion about it. It's actually a repellent energy, because by wanting it, we're often thinking that we're feeling good about it, but we're not. We're kind of feeling the lack of it, you see, and that gets in the way of manifestation. So our job is to cultivate our well-being at all times. We've got to do anything it takes to make ourselves feel good, because the better we feel, the more we are likely to manifest what we want. And then when we're in a feel-good space, really start feeling good emotions about the things we want, rather than the negative lack of those things. And it's really as simple as that, right? But it takes a bit of rewiring, because we're not used to doing it. Although we're doing it all the time, by the way, but we haven't necessarily been trained in doing it. So it's a bit counterintuitive to us. It seems too simple, doesn't it? Well, if I just feel good, then I'm more likely to attract the good things in my life. Yes, you are. That's not positive thinking. That is energetic quantum physics. So there are other laws of the universe, and there's many. But once you understand, so the reason that people don't manifest and don't get the things they want is often because they don't understand the nature of reality and the universe. They feel very shaky with it, like it's some kind of woo-woo, mysterious thing. It's not. It's absolute scientific fact. If you look at Einstein's work, he's talking about this stuff. So, but there's lots of other laws, and one of them is this idea of energy. Everything's energy. It's always moving. There's another one, which is the law of polarity, which is that any desire you have, so anything that's created, so thought is a creation. Once you have a thought, that is a creative thing. A thought is actually a creation. It might be intangible to you, but it is a creation. So you've got to get your head around that. And the law of polarity says that everything has an equal and an opposite. So if you're thinking about something you want and you haven't got, the opposite is true, which means any desire you have exists. It actually exists. It's already created. That's the law of polarity. So if I think, oh, I haven't got this car, then that car already exists for me, and it's a really good law to understand. So then you understand your desires more, because you feel, right, if I'm feeling like, oh, I haven't got, I don't know, $1,000, then the $1,000 must exist. Everything is created at once as soon as you have the thought. So when you know that, you get more confident. And it's good to study universal law because then you start understanding manifestation better and not feeling so shaky. People seem to think that manifesting law of attraction is somehow not reliable, and they think they know better. So they're using their heads and they're trying to control things all the time through their minds. Now, you need to work in partnership with the universe to manifest, right? So your job is to think of what you want, play with your desires, and get yourself in good feeling state as much as you can and feel good about them. So get rid of the limiting beliefs or the subconscious stuff you've got going on around why you can't have it or why you know what I mean. You've got to get rid of it, because those other beliefs, if you're holding predominantly beliefs that you can't have what you want, even though you know you want it, then you're not a vibrational match. So your job is to deal with your limiting beliefs, your what people call blocks. You never block, by the way, guys. You just got beliefs, right, that are not vibrationally equivalent to the thing that you want. So our job is to do the work on getting rid of those limiting beliefs so that we can believe that we can have the thing we want and start expecting it and feeling good about it. And the more we get in this kind of good emotional state, the more we can revel in it, the quicker it will manifest. And that's how it works. And there is universes bringing things to us in the easiest possible way. So we don't always know the timing, but we can get very good at this. We can get very, very good at this. Once we understand what it is, it's actually quite simple. It's about taking control of our mind, not allowing negative energy to negative thoughts, really, because that's what starts the energetic train cycle, to gain momentum. And then cultivating well-being as a priority and focusing on the things we want from a good feeling space, from a place where we expect them, when we're feeling great about them, and then not letting our minds go into scarcity and lack when we haven't got them yet, because that is a negative vibration, right? So then we're not a vibrational match when we're feeling lack of something or we're feeling negative about something, and it's really that simple. So these laws are the universe, they're quantum physics, they're scientifically proved, there's nothing woo-woo about them, and it's very, very important to understand them, because then you can create whatever you want in your life. And like I said, it's not really creation, because everything actually exists anyway. Everything actually exists already. We just can't actualize it or realize it always on the physical plane. So it's our job to have desires, move towards our desires, feel good about our desires, prioritize well-being, maintain a good vibration as much as we can, which means a positive state. So do the work we need to do, right, on our thoughts, beliefs and actions, so that our emotional state is predominantly good, because the better you feel, the more you're a match for everything you want anyway. And it is that simple. So that's my little training on manifestation for now. Let me know any questions and I'll speak to you guys soon.